When businesses first looked at artificial intelligence, the math seemed incredibly appealing. But that $20 price tag hides the reality of operating these systems at scale. Recently, a 4-person team relied on one of these AI tools. On the left, an average human knowledge worker makes $7,000 a month. On the right, an AI subscription costs $20. But instead of an $80 bill, they received a staggering invoice for $113,000. That is a real bill, and it is not an isolated accident. The ride-sharing company Uber set aside an extensive budget to use AI coding tools for the entire year. Their engineering teams burned through those entire 12 months of funding in just 120 days. Swapping payroll for automation often exchanges a predictable human salary for a highly volatile, usage-based cloud computing bill. The total corporate budget didn't actually shrink. The money simply moved from the human payroll column over to the cloud computing column. To understand where all that money is going, we need to read what I call the invisible AI invoice. Most business-grade AI isn't sold for a flat monthly fee. It uses usage-based pricing. And the very first item on this invoice is something called tokens. Think of a token as a tiny piece of a word. Every time you ask an AI a question, and every time it answers, it counts tokens. The system acts exactly like a taxi meter, charging a micro fee for every single computational step it takes to process your request. Let's look at this AI coding loop. The system generates code, tests it, fixes bugs, and rewrites it. The AI repeats this cycle dozens of times in the background. Each attempt runs the meter, quietly racking up thousands of dollars in fees. Software engineering offers dramatic gains in speed, but those gains are often neutralized by the compounding cost of those spinning tokens. That brings us to the second item on our invoice. All those tokens require physical hardware to run. This chart shows the money the biggest tech companies are spending on physical infrastructure. Notice this aggressive vertical trajectory. This year alone, they're on track to spend $725 billion, entering the vastly most expensive year of this build-out. To put that money into perspective, as a share of the economy, it rivals the Apollo space program sending humans to the moon. It also matches the sheer economic scale of building the entire interstate highway system. AI functions more like a capital-intensive heavy utility than standard software, as every single query effectively rents time on a multi-billion-dollar supercomputer. The third item on our invoice is something businesses rarely advertise: hidden human labor. You might eliminate the salary of a mid-level analyst, but an AI system cannot run itself. To keep it working safely, a company has to hire specialized machine learning engineers, expert data teams, and compliance reviewers. These experts cost significantly more than the employees the AI replaced. And that leads us to the fourth, and perhaps most stubborn cost on the invoice: technical debt. When AI writes code quickly, it creates disorganized systems needing constant fixing. You have the upfront build cost, but then a steep, compounding line representing maintenance. Businesses spend 15 to 30% of the original cost